Hey guys, what's up? Today I come to you with another review of Young Black Jack the manga. Now, this is chapter 4, and this is the conclusion of the Abduction Arc. So, Abduction Arc was about 3 chapters, and this is the final chapter for it. Now, probably you may not remember, but I'll state it once again, hopefully for the last time, that concerning with the manga and the anime. Of course, when I'm reviewing the manga, there will be parts in the manga that's going to be related to the anime because the anime did adapt from the manga, and there may be possible changes from the manga in the anime. So the anime may have added or subtracted scenes from the manga that weren't included. The biggest difference between both of these is that the fact that the anime is lighter in comparison to the manga. The manga takes more of a darker turn in the field of doctrine concerning Hazama and his days as a university student trying to become a full-fledged doctor. The anime, while it tried to be serious, you can also have that feeling it was very light. It was just like, it didn't want to go too deep into the various serious parts, but it tried to just tell you on the surface what these things were happening, especially during those times, during the 1960s and going into the 1970s. So this chapter, it was basically the same thing that happened in the anime. The only difference is that we got a little explanation about the heart surgery. So the heart surgery was they never did it, as you can remember, but instead that he did a face transplant. He changed his face into the man that was sick with the sick heart, and he made Reynolds or Raymond, he changed him into the old man. So now he's able to pay for his daughters to be able to get a cure, and at the same time, they believe that that man, he is alive and well while Raymond is supposedly dead. So Raymond is living the best of both worlds. So he has to find a way of how to still financially and still be able to take care of his daughter behind the scenes while also trying to portray himself as another person. And like I said, it was a little bit darker in the anime. They never showed it, but it was kind of gruesome. So you might have been shocked by this, but they show like how they peel off his whole face in this, and they show like the inner flesh and everything. It was kind of creepy looking, but you'll soon get over that. As well as they says something in the this chapter that kind of interests me. So it was at the very ending when they said like when it came to the heart transplant, and it's now 1968, and when they did their first heart transplant, whoever received it, the first person in Japan, they must have died a few days or probably months later, and they accused the doctor, the surgeon who did this operation as a murderer. So even though it was a success, at the same time it was a failure. And compared to the technology to now, of course, a person who receives a heart transplant can live for years until it's time for them to actually go. So it was declared in the West that the heart transplant was, or they declared brain death as a legal death that was passed quickly into law. But in Japan, brain death would have to wait till, to declare someone was dead or something after a surgery. It wasn't declared till October of 1997 when the organ transplant law was passed. So they never just said that anything or declared that in the anime, but it was a little something that I want to say for you guys, so you get a little history. That's the thing that I like about Young Black Jack. It tells you of history and what was happening, what was the important events that was happening during these times, and how they affect us now as of today. Because if it wasn't passed, a lot of people in Japan who would need a heart transplant won't be able to have it. So good thing it was passed during October of 1997. And they also have like another page where they tell the history, just a brief history of how it all started in Japan. So those are the little differences between the anime and manga, and I'm going to continuously try to compare and contrast the two until we get to the point where it reaches the last episode of the anime in the manga, and that's probably where they start to, that's when the manga starts continuing on where the anime could not. So do tell me in the comment section below if you saw this chapter, if you read this chapter. What do you feel about this chapter? Do you learn something that you did not learn in the anime, or were you fascinated by what has happened? And how do you feel? What's your intake of what this manga has to offer? Do tell me that in the comment section below. The links are in the description box so you could check those out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye.